So I'm just looking at where we opened. Looks like we fell further than I would have expected in the last few minutes of the trading. We fell further than I would have expected. It makes sense that we were in the oversold territory as kind of like a bottom out. And then we opened lower, and that's that sideways rotation with a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that sideways rotation. Opportunity in the decline right around the open at a low to open up a long position and close that long position in a period of sideways rotation. After at least two big moves to the upside, there'd be a period of sideways rotation establishing support where there used to be resistance, and you can see that taking place right there. So that would have been the exit, and that's roughly 10 to 10:30. This is the 10 to 11 o'clock card, so it was pretty much on point. The second low was a little bit early. I was expecting it more between 1 and 2. It ended up being between 12 and 1. But that would have marked the opportunity to open up a long position, and then here we go. End of day should be opportunity to close that long position. If you have a good profit here, I might not wait. I might not hesitate. I might just take that profit. I mean, we're doing sideways rotation along key support, which can be relied upon. Right around the close, there should be a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. You know what? There's a key resistance level is where we should exit. And we're kind of like at a key resistance here. This is also key resistance, however. But the high correlator was nullified, making it difficult to determine exactly where high was. I did indicate that I felt it was going to be here around the Netflix by the end of July. You mean like where does it go in relation to where it is now? Where will it be in July? So I'm pretty sure we pushed the upper end of the range higher in Netflix in July. But there's a reversal off of that. Like we'll push the upper end of a range higher and then there's a reversal. So that range doesn't like last. There's a reversal towards the end of the month. So I think we probably like it's pretty mixed, and we revisit a crest. We're probably like we're probably going to revisit a crest tomorrow, and then end of the month there's some significantly bullish behavior going on, but that's like out of probably a low around the. But I would say we'll probably be roughly around the same as like these highs here. 446, 440, 450-ish likely. I think it is. There's going to be some volatility in there, but then that volatility ends with a fast sudden move higher. I think we might revisit it again. There's a notable decline off of that peak over like the next couple of months, it looks like. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Until like early September. It's a breeze. Do I think we're going higher from here into the end of the month for SPY? Yeah, see, I think we probably have highs at the end of the month. But they're probably similar. It's really mixed, you know, so they're probably similar. 20th and the 21st may vary. This shouldn't delete on the master chart if E-Trade is properly working. All right, so we had this. Beginning of July. Okay, so sometimes this stone here will indicate a top or a bottom for the month, like a highest high or a lowest low. So it is possible that highest high was there. But the point is that it's kind of mixed. We see lows around the 20th, 21st, but they're probably similar lows to. They might be lower lows, but I think they're probably similar lows, and then we move back to the upside towards the end of the month. Into August, which becomes bullish. Does the stock market look bearish for the month of August? July, August readings were difficult because we have so much mixed behavior going on. Right, but we should like have this rally from July into August high. And then yeah, there's like a deep, there's like a around the 9th. There's the fortune card right there, which I left out as being a cross-reading congruency. So what do I mean by cross-reading congruency for those of you that don't know? Cross-reading congruency means that we have the same card appearing in the same time placement on two separate readings, or in the same significant or placement in some cases. What's significator placement? I'll explain that for you too. Give me one sec. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, okay, so it's a cross-reading congruency. Late August cluster. So on the 2023 reading for August cluster, which are these 4 cards, we have the Fortunate card appearing as the late part of the month. So notable reversal at the Fortune card. It's pretty mixed in August. I'd say to the downside. While looking at the 1 year, there's a drop in here, like towards the end, off of a peaker crust in the later part of August. There's a drop, and then we rally out of that drop back to a peaker crest in September. It looks like. The 12th is CPI. Do I think inflation data will come in lower and it push the indexes up? All right, so let's do 2 questions. Where will inflation data come in relation to expectations on the 12th? Looks like it comes in lower. Well, that's tricky. How could I read that? I'm going to do that again. That's tricky. Does it come in lower? Does inflation data come in lower than expected on the 12th? Yeah, it does. Okay, and so... what's the market reaction? We revisit a support level. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's bearish. Let's try that again. It's pretty mixed. I got 2 queens in a row, so it's pretty mixed. There's a sharp drop within a period of like mixed sideways behavior. We revisit a support level, which could be to the upside or the downside. Let me see. Ugh, it's not telling me. Think it would be wise to get into a quick long for Tesla until the 13th? Let me see here. I'm not so sure about that being a good idea. So July started here. I'm not sure why it's in blue like that. Mhm. If I was gonna do a long position, I don't think so. Excuse me. So, well, we had this big move to the downside. So this was the downside. So we already seen the downside. It actually does, since we've already seen the downside, like this peak here. Move to the downside, and then we should have an unexpected move higher tomorrow. I feel like there might be a drop in there between the 11th and the 12th. After a move higher on the 11th, there might be like a drop, like overnight or something, and then another move to the upside to meet key resistance. And that might be where the top is. I'm gonna grab my dog real quick. Bernie's. We revisited a crest that was an opportunity. Move to the downside. It's there. It's mixed in there. It's mixed in there, but that was a high. I feel like this might have been the high actually, because we had this big move the day before July started, overnight big move, which is what this ruin was indicating, and that's where the high may ended up being. I might have got it off there, but I probably wouldn't get into a long. It's not clear enough. It seems like there's some mixed stuff, and I may have been wrong about this high. The high may very well have been right here based on what's transpired so far. It's kind of looking like that's a possibility. A good multi-day long position would be opened around the cusp of like the 20th, 21st. Well, X4 reached $3 in July 2023. It's kind of mixed. Well, X4 reached $3 by August of 2023. You got a yes for that. X4 reaches, it was the Valor card, so there's going to be some bumping along resistance for X4. It might break through, bump along some more, and then break through, bump along some more, or it might just bump along, but it looks like it meets $3 by August of 2023. Will there be a pullback in RIVN to $22 or lower this month? I have a short for Riven. I don't know if it came out. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's public. Let me see here. Looks like it's quite feasible. Let's see. RIVN. It looks feasible to me. I gotta know. I gotta know again. So we don't go back to 22. Hermes and I are doing well. It's been pretty hot and humid in the city, but we're you're welcome. So RIVN does not pull back to 22 or lower this month, the month of July 2023. You're welcome, AV. Okay, so do I think we could open a short position here for SPY for some swing trade? At first look, I think so. But let me take a look closer here. I think so. I think you could probably do that. Open up for a quick swing trade tomorrow. Let me see. And you could also, it looks like in the midst of a decline there first thing in the morning, you might be able to open up a long position. It's going to be 3 crisscrosses back and forth there. Looks pretty mixed the next couple of days. Yeesh, and you see we've got, oh my god, was it Tesla that we had that? Oh no, we had this big move for Tesla there though, but yeah. It's possible this is the high, the stone here sometimes. It frequently ends up being a high or a low. Sometimes it throws me off though, like the past few months where I've been wrong on a few of these monthlies, I've been thrown off by this stone. So to Breeze, I think that's probably a yes. You might be better off waiting until the close. Well, probably not waiting till. Oh, I hope you did already, because at this point there's a drop. But there's this resistance, this price level where things flatten out. Matter of fact, that's just it. That's where things flatten out right here, and it's followed by a drop overnight or into the following day. Will ARKK continue bullish trend this week? Clear Kinetics. I got a yes for that. Well, what'll be the trend for the rest of July for ARKK? What'll be the trend for the rest of July? Looks like to the upside, but after going through some like mixed. So it was the futility card, which usually is a big move to the upside that starts out of a decline or in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. But it's like you expect us to go down and we go up. That's for the month of July. Appreciate it, Conrad. Hey, Proof, which stock are you asking about? Ooh, look at that pop to the upside we've got there. If you haven't gotten in a short position, I'd say 439.10 is like if we hit that resistance again, that's probably where I would pop in. CHNR. It's mixed. We've got a lot of price change covered in July, and there's an important resistance level that you can position yourself around in both directions for like a short or and a long position, if that's possible. I don't know. And then, oof, I got the unicursal for August. Yeah, so significant decline, a big failure. So there's a key resistance highlighted in July, and from that resistance in August, it looks like we have a significant decline through multiple support levels. CHNR. Hey Dinesh, yeah, it's looking pretty bullish. I wouldn't be too stressed out if you're hoping for a long position in SPC. Let me see here. July is mixed, but when we get into it, the decline in July is opportunity to open a long position, and then when we get into August, it gets pretty bullish there. And this is, my sense is that this is kind of like the last like shakeout before we have a pretty big move higher and kind of like reestablish a higher price level, at least as like our like average price. Yeah. Right, so like the theme card is the abundance card, which gives this card here, the luxury card, a lot of prominence. The luxury card is, this is for SPC in 2023, so I think the luxury card could easily be a highest high, at least thus far. It could be, it's going to be an important high based on the fact that it has such a strong correlation to the abundance card, which is the theme card for the 2023 reading. So big move in August to a high, and then we may even see a higher price level the following month in September, but that'd be early in September, followed by, it'll be a brief peak and then a big decline into a low. What very well might be a lowest low there in October, it's possible. But there's a ton of price change covered in October. I have the Ace of Swords over the Ace of Discs. My gosh, there's a lot of ground covered in October. And it's hard to determine which will come first. I think, matter of fact, I think we probably have a lot of ground cover to the downside and then to the upside, both because we go back to a highest high here around November, December. I might consider exiting SPC here in August. It depends on where it goes to. Hey, AV. Okay, another one here. So NVAX hit 11 this month. Pretty flat, wow. Looks like there's a good shot that it does. Does NVAX, Novavax, hit $11 in the month of July 2023? It looks like it's mixed. I'm getting kind of a mixed response here. Will Novavax NVAX reach $11 in the month of July 2023? I got a yes, but it's going to be mixed here in July, so be mindful of that. And that's like right there at that 1150 is this little spike to the upside that we had here. Looks like some positive news probably came out. There's some sort of catalyst here. Hey, Carolyn, so one sec, guys. Carolyn, so you're looking for next? You're looking for next year, 2024? I'm actually Oh, for oil. I think I have a 2024 for oil. Or for USO, I should say. Let me see. I have a 2023. Alright, well that's a 2023. Looks like we're near some highs here. Where did it go? January, cusp of February high. Looks like this isn't fully marked up, so this could be missing a lot of data. I'm just looking at it. So it does look like we're probably near a peak or crest here. Actually, we rally into August, but for 2024, I'm pretty sure I have a USO as well. I think I might not have done it yet. I don't. Okay, let's do it this way. I can give you general information on it. USO for Q1 and Q2 of 2024. Just a broad overall kind of trend direction for Q1. It's mixed. There's an important resistance level highlighted and a lot of ground is covered, but it's going to be quite mixed. And then Q2 looks like Q2 is to the downside. We decline to and through a support level, meet a second support level, and that's on like a multi-day kind of scale. And we rotate sideways along that support in Q2. So bearish to sideways rotation in Q2. That's USO. Is IWM bullish or bearish this week? Overall trend direction this week for IWM. I got the devil card. It looks like to the upside, but it's probably a fake out or a shakeout of some kind. That's IWM for the week. Oh, Q3 and Q4. I don't have the full markup, so this could easily be missing some things. Like this is I just did. I was working with somebody in a one-on-one, so I real quickly found the correlations for the high and low significators, or highest high and lowest low significators. Significant, there's a peak there, and then a significant trough in May. Same thing going on in June, and then there's a peak within close time proximity. Looks like we're bullish into August. We have a breakout in August. There may be some mixed behavior or decline mid-August, but then out of that there's another big move to the upside. And matter of fact, since I did this brief markup for it, I've gotten substantially better, so I'm gonna mark this up a little bit more. Looks like we probably already had the highest high, but let me see if there's another case in here for it. right? There's a strong correlation between the 6 of discs and the 5 of discs, which is how I pinpoint a highest high. There's also around the cusp there a trend that we're advised not to chase. Usually this indicates a rally. We're advised not to chase there. As far as the lowest low, we probably have a lowest low here. The very end. So we're rally into probably the cusp of August, September, with a breakout on a multi-day scale to reach the high in August. I think it's probably. I think the peak is actually probably early August. There's a peak with a breakout there, so we might break out like we'll see where we are. But there's a breakout there to the upside to a high, like a month's high there for the month of August. Not a highest high or anything, but a month's high, and then. It's pretty mixed, but overall, I think Q3 is going to be pretty big, pretty notable move to the upside, and then kind of mixed at the end. And I think that we're mixed, we're more mixed in early Q4, but with a like a bias to the downside, with lowest lows probably in the month of November, and even more likely in December. Yeah, so Q3 for USO, we're looking at bullish in the early part of Q3 into mid to late Q3, but then it gets kind of mixed in the end of Q3. Q4 is a lot more mixed than Q3 early on, but with a bearish slant, and we most likely have lowest lows towards the very end. Like most likely have lowest lows there in December. And after looking at this USO reading that I did such a long time ago, I've gotten notably better, and it's clear that we've already seen a high there on the cusp of January, February for USO in 2023. Okay, so do you think the SEC will successfully snuff out finance exchange this year? You like these snuff out questions, don't you? Let's see here. Will the SEC successfully snuff out finance exchange in 2023? I got a no. Will the SEC successfully snuff out finance exchange in 2024? I got a no. It's not snuffing out finance exchange in 2023 or 2024. Well, does it make sense to short NFLX tomorrow and close on the 13th? I think we had a similar question there early on. Let's take a look. I'm not really being advised to do that there. It doesn't mean you couldn't. It's just it's kind of the change card on the 11th is kind of like sidewaysy. Could be price swings there. I would say it does look like you could, but it's not. I'm not being advised to, so there might be something that we're missing there. I think if you ended up not being able to close the short position on the 12th, you might get scared out on the 13th, but if you could hold tight until the 14th, you'd probably be pretty happy on the 14th as well. Yeah, so it looks like you could probably short NFLX tomorrow in the midst of some price swings at a prominent crest or peak for the month. And then if you can't close it tomorrow after a decline to and through support to meet a second support, if that ends up not being a good place to close out, you could probably close out first thing in the morning on the 14th. You might get scared out on the 13th, though, so it really matters how much risk tolerance you have. Will SPC hit $15 by September? I got a yes. Let me make sure that was a yes, jeez. It is a mixed kind of card. Pretty sure it's a yes. It's a yes.
Hey Hermes, are you sleeping on my cards now, you goofball? Can I have my cards back? Thank you. Come sit with me. Come sit with me, you goofball. You want the pets? You want the pets? I give you pets. Oh, I give you pets. Okay, go back to where you were sleeping.
All right, my friends, I'm going to roll. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow that rule of karma. The channel's counting on you. I'm counting on you. Universe is counting on you. You do so here at the resources tab of our website, where we ask that you donate 5% of the profits forward and 5% of the profits back to the channel. Forward to one of these charities, 5% back to the channel. Leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, that's the rule of karma for the channel, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. I would get into that, Carolyn, but I gotta roll, so we'll answer that tomorrow.